check the clock, wondering what he'll pull this time. I have a feeling that necromancer's outside, and I'm just trying to stay quiet. I don't sleep much, that's crazy. How'd you know that? I'll keep myself up, that's maybe how you know that. Ooh, promises and contracts I used to keep. I don't sleep much, that's crazy. How'd you know that? I'll keep myself up, that's maybe how you know that. I used to see. It felt so real, but now I plead, just take the deal. I promised you a contract. I promised you a contract. One drug in this. Let me tell y'all something. I ain't trying to do.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to one of the legendary venues in the sport, historic Soldier Field in Chicago. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap. It's the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. We welcome you, Mike Tirico, Greg Olsen, and that's Cairo Santos to get us started. It's going to be a wet one. Here we go from the second city. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. First carry now for Jahmyr Gibbs. And he's going to be stopped out at the line to begin this ball game.
This defense wanted to come out early in this game and take the fight to the offense. And boy, did they ever set the tone on the very first play, keeping that carry to no gain.
2nd and 10. Once again, it's Gibbs. Has an opening. Past the 40. Jahmyr Gibbs. And they're not going to run him down. He goes all the way. 71 yards. Touchdown, Detroit. Well, fireworks right out of the gate here, Greg. It only takes 2 plays to put 6 on the board, and they do it with a big touchdown.
Mike, each week when we talk to teams, they emphasize how important it is to get off to a fast start. Well, this team, they took it to a new level. Second play of the game, big touchdown, they strike first.
To return, here's Ray Davis. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And finally, they'll bring him down, but he's up beyond the 45-yard line. Can't ask for much more. 22 yards on the first play of the drive.
I think this is something that we can expect to see here, especially early, Mike, as this team gets into a rhythm. They want to lean on this run game. They feel like they have a lot of advantages over this defense, and you can see from the first play here why they feel that way.
A play fake, and they'll throw with Williams. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the play, and it's second down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
Here's a handoff to Swift. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's third down.
49-yard line. A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
From the shotgun, it's Williams. And that is incomplete.
Remember what they told us, Mike, leading up to this game. They said it is so critical for us to find success, especially on third down. We want to maintain possession, extend these drives. Well, the first crack comes up and they fail through the air, and we're going to have to regroup and be able to have better success throughout the remainder of this game.
Oh, how about that hit? Wow. He took a pretty good lick at the end of that one.
15-yard line.
They'll start this one on the ground with Gibbs. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple.
He's taken down at the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Second down and 8. Out of the shotgun, it's Goff. That's a short one caught by Laporta. And he's out of bounds, up beyond the 25. Goff hooking up with his tight end Laporta, and they give the Lions a first down.
A gain of 11 on the play. And the Lions first down.
He'll drop to throw. That's over the middle and intercepted. It's the linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds.
Mike, these are just throws you're not accustomed to seeing, especially from a quarterback that has played this much football. He's been around the NFL for a long time. He's got to make better decisions. Costly mistakes like that are going to kill his team.
And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain. We'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. At the Lions' 36-yard line.
They'll go again with Swift. Once again, this defense up to the task. They stop him for no gain yet again. And now it's third down.
Gain of 1. Brings up 3rd down.
Now Williams. To the perimeter, he got Ogunze on the out.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
He's got his tight end. It's Loveland. And he will have that first down. Taking a chance here early in the game. They convert on 4th down.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Now Swift. And he is planted backfield. Defenders crashing through. Blow up that play behind the line.
Brought down back at the 21-yard line.
Vegas,
Williams to throw. Over him in a flash, and he lost the football. And it looked like one of the Bears was able to get in there. He did, so the ball stays with Chicago.
And they should consider themselves lucky. You can't let a pass rusher through that quickly and not expect there to be consequences. Fortunately, they're at least able to fall on it and prevent this from being a complete disaster.
He's got it at the 7. And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5.
That's good for a Bears first down. First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Swift. And that play took a little long to develop. They stopped it for no gain at the 4.
Brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Leads to second and goal at the 4-yard line.
Vegas!
Throwing on second down. Williams. That's hauled in at the 2. And he's so close to the goal line. Couldn't get that ball extended. They keep him out, and it sets up 3rd and goal. Operating from the shot to the end zone. It's intercepted. That's the linebacker, Derek Barr. And the Lions are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal.
I'm not going to sit here, Mike, and say there's ever a good time to throw a red zone interception. But in this case, it's the first half. You have the rest of the game to get yourself back down here in the red zone and make up for that miscue, because next time they get down here, they got to be a lot more careful when they decide to air it out.
Not much there. Maybe a yard. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. From the gun, it's Goff. Open man, it's Jameson Williams. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
So on 4th down, the Lions send out Jack Fox to punt, as he'll take this a yard or 2 into his own end zone. Davis to return it. And he's going to lose yardage on this return. Tried to retreat, but is covered up. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll try to keep his footing, manages to look it ahead for a couple of yards.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 21-yard line.
We are through 1. It's the Lions who have the early lead. We're back to Soldier Field after this. From the 21, here's 2nd and 7. Another run here, another run by Swift. And it'll be a pickup of 3. So 3rd down, forthcoming.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Working out of the gun, here's Williams. Open man, that's Luther Burden. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
Nothing a quarterback loves more, Mike, than being able to pick up a first down without being forced to push the ball downfield and force it past the line to gain. He settles for the underneath check down. He's confident that his receiver is going to pick up the rest after the catch.
They're going to run. It's the man from Rutgers, Kyle Monunga. He'll get about 2. DJ Reed brings him down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
On 2nd down, it's Williams. That's a short throw caught by Kmet. And they'll whistle him down, but not before it picks up a first down after a gain of 7.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Off play action. Here's Williams. He runs with it. And he's going to be very close to the first down marker. Out of bounds after a gain of 9. An enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. Give up the middle with Swift. And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 12. First down, Chicago.
2nd and short. Normally, this is a great time, Mike, to put the ball in the air and try to press the ball downfield. But in this case, they keep it on the ground. Has a similar effect. They pick up a good gain and a first down.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. A play fake. Now Williams. A dive and a catch. Incredible. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Now a toss, left side, it's Swift. He's to the 10. And he will get into the end zone. DeAndre Swift, touchdown Chicago. It's his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
You just don't see these kind of holes too often at this NFL level, Mike. And you can see once he got the ball, the clear line to the end zone, he doesn't get touched. And an unfortunate defensive breakdown here ends up costing him 6 points.
So back to level after the touchdown. Time for the kickoff. Here comes a return from the end zone. And he goes nowhere. Buried back at the 15-yard line.
15-yard line.
On the ground to start, they give it to Gibbs. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 21-yard line.
Goff gives it to Gibbs. And this will be a Lions first down. And he gets this one up to the 28-yard line.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen. And not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2. But it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor. And when you can generate those big explosive...
Jahmyr Gibbs to the 20. And he will dive into the end zone. 72 yards. Touchdown, Detroit. Here's Seibert now for the point after. And he misses the extra point. It's no good. That is his 2nd miss of the year. And the score stays right where it is. The kickoff team is out on the field. And we're back to it as the kicks away. The return, here comes Davis. Now an opening past the 30. And he's brought down right at the 35-yard line. This drive will begin with a run by Swift. And that'll go for a gain of about 4. DJ Reed brings him down.
At this point, we're going to need 2 hands to count for how many yards he's averaged in this one, Mike. But unfortunately, it just hasn't been enough to overcome the deficit here at this stage of the game.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 5. They'll go play action here with Williams. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down. Here's Williams. That's caught. Left side. It's complete. 17 yards on that connection. Good for a Bears 1st down.
And the Bears 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They will run it over center with Swift. He'll get in behind his blockers, get forward for a pickup of 3. It was Derek Barnes with the stop.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 7. Williams. That's a short one caught by Loveland. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down. On the give, here's Swift. And he's got nowhere to go. That defensive front controlling the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 4th down.
Loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
They're going for it. Here's Williams. That's incomplete. Derek Hall on 4th down. Does not work out. And it results in a turnover on down. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Now Gibbs. And he is crushed in the backfield. Defenders firing through. Shut it down right away for a loss of yards.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
On 2nd down, it's Gibbs. A nice pickup moving it across the 40. We'll give him 6 on that play.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
Here's 3rd and 7. Now Goff. And that is incomplete.
I think as the offense comes to the sideline now, the quarterback and his wide receivers need to get together and say, hey guys, what are you seeing out there? How can we find some open targets? Because on that last down, there was nowhere to go with the ball.
And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. Williams going to look to throw it on first down. Throw over the middle, and they can't connect. It's incomplete. Colston Loveland was the intended receiver. And it'll bring up second down. To throw is Williams. That's complete. It's Odunze. That's a second charge timeout to Chicago. They get the stoppage with just over 50 seconds to play in this first half.
It takes a certain guy in that slot position to be willing and able to go across the middle of the defense on those in-breaking routes. You can tell this guy, he doesn't care. He is fearless going across the middle, and he's able to secure a nice catch.
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down. Here's Tory Taylor now, as he's on to punt for the second time. And he's going to be brought down after a short return, and that's where his team will get possession of the football. On play action, Goff. That one down the field, but they cannot connect, and it's incomplete.
Pretty clear coming into this game that this offense felt that they had a distinct advantage running the ball. It was a matchup that they thought all week went in their favor, and so far the results indicate that they were spot on.
On second down, Goff. He'll get back to the former Volunteer, Jalin Hyatt. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. The Lions call their first timeout. Clock says 25 seconds till halftime. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Goff. He has Hyatt complete. And he'll be out of bounds as the first down completion nets about 3.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that...
That'll be taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. That is incomplete. Throw took him out of bounds, and it will be third down.
Timing and anticipation, those are the critical elements anytime you're throwing a ball outside of the numbers. If the quarterback waits too long, Mike, that receiver just gets closer and closer to the sideline and just makes what should have been a much easier throw and catch an incomplete pass.
And this ball incomplete on third down.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring fourth down right in the face.
Now Detroit's going to use their second timeout as they stop it with 13 seconds to play in this opening half. Here's Austin Seibert now to try the field goal. This will be from 56 yards away. That is not going to do it. Tried to bite off a lot with that one. It's no good. And this is going to remain a one-possession game.
What is that?
Here's Williams on first and 10. Oh, an ill-advised throw there. It's an interception. That's the linebacker, Derek Barnes. And he will be out of bounds. No time left on the clock. And that is the final action here in this first half. interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. A play fake, and they'll throw with Williams. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete. Luther Burden, the intended target, and it'll lead to a second down. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. Right side, caught by Burden. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45. A gain of 21 on that pass play. First down, Chicago.
The defender has to do a better job here, Mike, of getting depth. He wants to elevate that ball to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play. He gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going to take advantage.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. Give them 15 more on that one. They are on the move. It's a first down.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time.
And he'll be taken down. They got him back at the 50-yard line. Jordan Burch in there to drop him as he registers sack number 4 on the season.
And now we're seeing the game kind of go back and forth. Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back with a sack, and we'll see which.
And for a third time today, he's intercepted. That's the safety, Kirby Joseph. And a nice return will set them up in good field position right at midfield.
If you're going to run this route against quarters coverage, Mike, you have to do a better job of running the route flatter. The quarterback is going to trust that you are going to uncover right when that guy comes out of his break, but he rounds the route just a little too much and ends up being a costly mistake.
A run up the middle, it's Gibbs. He's going to be out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 13. Good for a Lions first down.
Pretty much just more of the same from what we saw with this back in the first half. And he doesn't need much. He gets a little bit of space, and then he can create the rest. It's the combination of patience, vision, and then the burst to hit the hole once he sees it. This guy's been a handful all day.
And he will slosh his way forward on the wet surface for a gain of a yard.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Gibbs. He'll turn this into a gain of about 4. It's going to lead to 3rd down.
And he's been on an absolute tear throughout this entire game, Mike. I mean, he's averaging over 10 yards per carry. And anytime you can run the ball with that explosiveness, it's just going to be hard to beat.
From the gun, on 3rd down, it's gone. That's a short one, caught by Laporta. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
Well, they finally are able to convert on a 3rd down. And, Mike, when you look back at a box score, some of the biggest indications of how well the game went, of course, you don't want to turn the ball over. How do you execute?
This one intercepted. Picked off by Kyler Gordon. He works free, right side. Inside the 20. And he's going to bring this one back the distance. Touchdown, Bears. And we have a tie game. What a big turnaround. The defense comes up with the score to square the game, and they're an extra point away from taking the lead.
This defense took the field, Mike, saying, we've got to get the ball back to our offense. Give them a chance to tie this up. Well, they didn't even need their offense to take the field. They did it all themselves. And as you said, they're an extra point away from taking the lead.
So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. Couldn't take the chance. They're going to return it from the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds on the return. And the drive will begin there.
At their own 21-yard line.
This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. A run here with Gibbs. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
In order for you to be able to operate out of this 4-3 style defense, Mike, the key is your defensive tackles, their ability to penetrate, their ability to be game wreckers. That's exactly what we saw here, his ability to get back there, make the stop at the line of scrimmage, keep it to no gain.
Once again, this defense up to the task. They stop it for no gain yet again. And now it's 3rd down.
And after that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on 3rd down. So this offensive line has to be a lot better on 1st and 2nd down to gain positive yards. Stay on track because you don't want to be in 3rd and pass too often in today's NFL.
And for a 3rd time today, he's intercepted. Picked off by T.J. Edwards.
And at this point on the sideline, Mike, it just has to feel like deja vu. I mean, really, the last 2 drives, same story. Continuing to drive, have something brewing, and then you just stall out in the exact same fashion. You can't put the ball in harm's way. You're not going to win a lot of football games if you do.
He'll take this ahead. It's a pickup of 3. Big lineman Aleem McNeil ends the play there.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. A throw there on 2nd down, going to be incomplete.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with the lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback. There's certain guys, Mike, that have earned the right to make those tight window throws, and that doesn't mean that he's not going to get himself into trouble from time to time, but we've seen throughout his career his ability to make throws that other guys are either uncomfortable or unable to make is a big reason why he's kind of in a class all of his own.
Nice return there, picking his way up past the 35-yard line. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. That is caught out wide on the RPO. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line. That's the way to get started, a pickup of 17 and a very quick 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Off to throw on 1st down. Here's a screen set up for Gibbs.
You see so many teams wait till 3rd down to execute their screen game, but I like in this case the play caller changes things up. He uses the screen game on 1st down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screen play still in the back of their head.
Throwing on 2nd down. Goff. Room to maneuver at the 35. And he's going to be run out after a gain of about 6, but that'll be good enough for a 1st down.
It's a gain of 6. And
Straight ahead with Gibbs. He'll move it ahead for about 3 yards. Tremaine Edmonds there to make the play.
Watching him throughout this game has been incredible, Mike. I mean, I've loved watching him perform. The reality is it just hasn't impacted the outcome of the game. It's really been a wasted individual effort unless they can somehow find a way to flip this thing around.
The second down throw is incomplete.
Well, it's pretty clear the main reason why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the inefficiency of this offense and primarily out of the quarterback position. I mean, to complete less than half of your pass attempts, it just makes it very hard to compete at a high level consistently in the NFL. And if they want to find themselves having any chance of getting back into this game and winning this one, he's going to have to get a lot better with the ball.
He'll send it downfield for Laporta. And that is incomplete. The tight end, Sam Laporta, the intended receiver. And that's going to lead to a 4th down.
I like the idea of taking your shot there on 3rd down, pushing the ball downfield, looking for the touchdown. But now as it brings up 4th down, you're already this close. You're in field goal range, but do you keep that offense on the field and try to maintain possession and see if you can come away with 6?
He has to drive this through the rain, but he does. The kick is good. And the Lions will take the lead here in the 3rd quarter. Davis now to return it. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
Loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Throwing on 2nd down. Williams. That's over the middle and taken by Loveland. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. So we are through 3. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. 4th quarter begins on the ground with Swift. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up 2nd down.
McDuffie on the tackle. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3. At their 49-yard line.
Off play action. Here's Williams. To the left side. He's got Kmet. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the 1st down.
Bears, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Here's Swift. That's a nice job keeping his balance in these conditions. A gain of about 5. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. 2nd and 5. A play fake. Now Williams. He's got Loveland free left side. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. 2nd time they've hooked up on this drive. This one good for 12 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
They'll go play action here with Williams. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down.
The whole idea of the play-action pass, Mike, is that you can slow the pass rush down enough that it allows longer, slower developing pass concepts to open up downfield. But in this case, they were on him so fast that by the time he got his head around, that ball needed to come out. There was no timing and ultimately led in an incompletion. The best offensive play callers in the NFL, Mike, do a great job tying in their under-center run game, like we just saw here, with their under-center play action game. And the ability to make those two things look alike, man, it puts a lot of stress on the defense.
And they'll get him down inside the 5-yard line. It's first and goal coming up.
And this offense just continues to chew up yards and get first down after first down. And defensively now, you find yourself a little bit on your heels. You're defending a goal-to-go situation. They need to step up here and get a stop.
On play action, he'll set up to throw. That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Trent McDuffie. He's to midfield. Inside the 30. And he's going to be brought down. What a turn of events here. He has given his guys first and 10 in the red zone.
And in these tight games, especially in the second half, Mike, these are the big moments that somebody needs to step up and make a play, and that's exactly what he's able to do here. Great read, great reaction, steps in front of that ball and ends up going the other way. In order to be successful as a run-heavy offense, Mike, it's so important that you remain really efficient on first and second down. The last thing you want is to be in third and pass, and it really throws off what you feel like your strengths are. So now you get down here in the red zone, it's got to be touchdowns. These long, sustained drives on the ground, you kick a field goal, that's a win for the defense.
And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, it sets up third down. They'll go play action with Goff. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back. And they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be first and goal.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
Gibbs is in for a Lions touchdown. Greg, they did everything they wanted to do on that drive, and now a chance to really make it an important lead.
Mike, with that touchdown there, they're an extra point conversion from extending this lead to a 2-score game. And at this point in the fourth quarter, I think they'd feel pretty good about their chances of holding on.
Bears 14.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. And he will not attempt to return, so this will come out now to the 35-yard line.
What's up?
On first and 10, it's Williams. And he can't hang on through the contact. Incomplete. Good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. It'll bring up second down.
They nearly connected on the big play downfield, but he's not quite able to hold on to that ball through the contact. You can chalk that one up as a win defensively.
We'll try again. It's second and 10.
What is up?
Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. That's caught left side by Odunze. And he'll be forced out of bounds.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late. They tried to go with the quick game here in hopes they could do something with it after the catch, but I don't think everyone was necessarily on the same page, and this ends up being a wasted down.
Throwing again, Williams. They'll try to set up the screen here. And he'll be out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. Give him 13 on that screenplay. And a first down.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
He's got it at about the 8. And he will score. Game on. Roll Odunze. Touchdown, Chicago. That's the 5th touchdown for him on the year. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance. But can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
So the lead is down to just 2 now in the 4th quarter as they kick it off. And no return here. This is a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
They'll start this one on the ground with Gibbs. And he's able to push through the tacklers to pick up 6.
Taken down at the 41. It's a pickup of 6.
They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. From the gun, it's Goff. Right side, it's Laporta, the tight end. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35. That's good for 27 and a first down.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the 4th quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative. Just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
Shaheed in motion. So 2 minutes left to play in the 2nd half. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. Second down, 8 yards to go. On the ground, this is Gibbs. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. A pickup of 12 yards. First down, Detroit. They'll drop to throw. That one out wide to Gibbs. And he can't get away. They rally to the football defensively. Bring him down for no gain.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. They'll try and run it here with Montgomery. And he's going to have the first down. Just as the marker, it is 1st and goal.
Nice Nice run right there. You get down here into the red zone area, Mike, and yards are hard to come by. He's able to stick his head in there and sets him up for 1st and goal.
Laporta in motion. Out of the shotgun, it's Goff. And he will wisely just get rid of this one and set up 2nd and goal.
They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
Goff with the give to Montgomery. And this is going to be a touchdown. They are going to extend the lead here in the final minute of play.
And that's exactly how you stress all week, finishing a game. Get the ball and leave no doubt. But that late touchdown, Mike, that should all but just seal this victory away.
Makes the score Lions 30, Bears 21. Jack Fox to
So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. On the return, here comes Davis. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's when the offense will take over.
24-yard line.
Yeah, really with I should probably start a hit, boy, because I got all the hits, boy. All that drink you got to chill. I be on my little mouse drip.
This is 1st and 10.
Ready, up.
A play fake, and they'll throw with Williams. That ball flutters to the ground. It's incomplete. Well, fortunate there wasn't a defender right there in the area. Could have been a turnover. Instead, it brings up 2nd down.
Ready, up.
Throwing is Williams. That one incomplete. Good job, textbook there, separating the man from the ball, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Ready, up.
Working out of the gun, here's Williams. That's over the middle and taken in by Odunze. The Bears will use one of their timeouts here, and they stop it with 22 ticks left on the clock here in the 4th.
And these are the moments in the game, Mike, where you need your best players to come through and make their presence felt. And that's exactly what he does there. Picks up a nice reception, good chunk of yards, and they keep their hopes alive.
Yeah. Vegas.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete. Rome Odunze, the one he was looking for. And that will lead to a 2nd down.
On the coverage.
Ready, up.
Williams to the air once more. That one down the field, but it is incomplete.
And really, it's the interceptions that continue to be a problem, and he's lucky he didn't add to that total. I mean, defender had an opportunity to add another one to the mix, and he just has to do a better job making decisions, finding the open target, and stop forcing bad throws.
On 3rd down, it's Williams. He's got his tight end. It's Loveland. And he will be out of bounds right around the 35. 6 catches for him in the ball game now, and this one's good for a 1st down.
Ready, up.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Now, faking the give. In trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Now we'll get whistles, and they have signaled for a timeout. Curious there, not sure the logic, but one stoppage with 5 seconds to go.
Ready, up.
On 2nd down, it's Williams. He'll take a shot here for the end zone. And the final throw of the game winds up incomplete, and that will do it. This one comes to an end. So a win for the visitors, the Lions. They get the victory away from home in the division. This is so valuable. And they'll get another shot in their place next time later in the season. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olsen. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.